And so for this one, I'm giving it an F for freaking cook. Hell yes. Or C as in cook all over her face. Or what about a B for book job? Or an A for right up the... Coach Greg. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the best exercises from the S tier to the F tier in terms of helping you to burn off body fat while keeping all your hard-earned muscle. And so there are many forms of cardio that are great at burning off calories and getting you lean, but at what price? You're going to lose all your hard-earned muscle. And so in this video, I'm going to explain the best forms of cardio that you can do to keep your muscle but get shredded at the same time. And so first up, rowing. I'm giving it a D. Very hard to do extended periods of time on a rowing machine, going out for hours on end. It's going to cause you to fatigue your lower back. Very difficult to keep on all that hard-earned muscle. And so if you're looking for a great form of weight loss, this one ain't it. Not saying not to do any rowing, but overall, giving it a D. Next up, walking the dogs or just walking or going for a hike. I'm giving this one a C. And why a C? Well, you're hardly burning off any calories. It's very, very easy. Now, unless you're an old woman, old man, you're over the hill, you're morbidly obese and so on, walking, it's so frigging easy that it hardly burns off any calories. But the good part about it is it's not going to tear down any muscle. And so what you have to do if you're choosing walking as your form of cardio, you have to do a shit ton of it. And so Mike Israetel suggests doing 8 to 12,000 steps a day. This is going to take up to 2 hours.
Like all I feel is rage.
And so, yes, it's a great form of cardio, but it's not burning a lot of calories. And so I'm giving it a C. And so next up, not regular walking, but incline walking. 15% incline or perhaps even 30%. Now, all the benefits you get from regular walking, you now can do it harder than last time. You can retain your muscle and burn far more calories. 15% incline, it's doubling the calories of walking on a flat. 30% incline, it's quadruple. That's 4 times the calories. And so walking on an incline, it's the first S tier exercise, putting it right at the top. Next up, bike riding. As you know, I'm an avid fan, but I'm thinking for the average person. Now, the great thing about the bike is there's no impact. It's not going to have a lot of eccentric load, and so it's very good at keeping on your muscle. And if you're biking up hills and so on, you can actually build up your quads and build more muscle. Not just the quads, but even the glutes. Get up off the seat and start pedaling harder than last time. Now, the problem with biking is that for many people, it's not involving the upper body. And if you're just sitting on a recumbent bike, pedaling like this, going easy, it's not going to burn a lot of calories. And so until you've trained, practiced, become more proficient, in other words, you're more efficient in your bike riding. You've practiced. You're not going to burn as many calories riding a bicycle as you will, for example, an incline walk. And so for most people who are going biking, they're not burning off as many calories as, for example, Coach Greg. I've been training for years. If you're a trained cyclist, it is absolutely amazing. And so although it's S tier for me, it does have a few drawbacks in that it doesn't burn as many calories. And so I had to reduce this one to an A. Now, if you're on a recumbent bike and you're not pushing hard, I'm lowering it even more. It's going to get a C rating. But for everyone else, if you're trying harder than last time, progressive overloading on a bike, it's an amazing form of cardio to help you retain most, if not all of your muscle while doing hours and hours of cardio harder than last time. And so the thing with biking and compared to something like running is you can bike for hours. You could, for example, bike for 1, 2, 3 hours almost every single day and keep all of your muscle. Once you're used to it, you're not going to be very sore. And so I highly recommend it. Next up, running and or jogging. Now, this one, it burns up a lot of calories, but it's very, very hard. There's a tremendous eccentric load on the muscle. And so what that means is it's going to be very hard to recover from. If you run for an hour every single day, it's going to be next to impossible to put on muscle. And so although it burns a lot of calories, it's horrible if you're trying to retain the muscle that you have. And for this reason, I'm going to give it a D. Barely a passing grade. And so if your goal is to burn body fat but keep muscle, it's not the best choice you could be making. Next up, sexy time. And so for this one, I'm giving it an F for freaking cook. Hell yes. Or C as in cook all over her face. Or what about a B for book job? Or an A for right up the But in all seriousness, I'm going to actually give this one a D. It doesn't burn as many calories as you think. However, you're having a lot of sex, you're naked all the time, you're probably not going to eat as much. And so although it may not burn a lot of calories, it's going to help you to build a little bit of muscle. And so it's not that I don't recommend it, but that there's better choices if you're trying to burn off more body fat. But certainly it can be part of your repertoire. And so please keep her in the rotation harder than last time. And remember, it can, depending on your performance and your partner, increase your mood, perhaps get you more in the mood for doing extra cardio later on. And up next, the next activity, yoga. And sorry to all the yoga enthusiasts. Remember, I am in fact a yogi. I've done more yoga than last time, but it doesn't burn off many calories. You're thinking, no, hot yoga, I sweat so frigging much. I sweat without even moving. Just because you're sweating doesn't mean you're burning a lot of calories. Now, yeah, it can help retain some of the muscles, the various positions and stuff, and it perhaps can help you to get more of that sexy time. But sexy time, it got a D, and yoga, it's getting an F. It simply doesn't burn enough calories. You're not moving hard enough. It does burn some calories, but you'd be way better off just going for a walk. Up next, swimming. Now, swimming is more so upper body dominant. You are using your legs a little bit when you kick, but for the most part, you're using mostly upper body. And unless you're a trained swimmer like Coach Greg and Mike Isertel, who have many butlers and lifeguards present, as well as several heated swimming pools to swim in, not everyone has access to it. And remember, if you're trying to do a lot of cardio, it's hard to swim for hours on end. And so unless you're Michael Phelps, you might find it difficult to, for example, swim for an hour. And so for that reason, I'm giving it a D. I don't think that the majority of people can swim long enough or that their skills are great enough to swim for example, an hour, 5 or 6 days a week. Now remember, the water is giving resistance to your arms, and so it could in fact help you to build muscle, but it's very difficult to perform long enough, and for that reason, I'm giving it a D. Next up, bailar, Spanish for dancing. And so dancing, you're moving your body, your legs, your arms, and so on. And so whether you're doing hip hop, ballet, jazz, or just dancing at the clubs, you're in fact going to be burning off continuous amount of calories, but you're not going all that hard. And if you're in a dancing class, you may in fact be performing for a while and then stopping, performing for a while and stopping. And even if you're at the clubs dancing harder than last time, you might be also drinking some alcohol, taking breaks, going to the washroom, talking to the bros, hitting on you harder than last time. And so overall, I am going to give this one a C. Not bad. It's very sustainable and you can dance for hours. Imagine you're at the club and you're dancing for 3, maybe even 4 hours, or you're partying harder than last time with Coach Greg, dancing till 4 in the morning. You're burning off a lot of calories, and so long as you're not eating all night, it's actually great form of low, perhaps zone 1, zone 2 cardio. And so I'm ranking it right up there with walking, great activity for long-term sustainability. And so going back to my days as a physical education teacher where I was teaching Dance Revolution, seriously, dancing can burn off calories, great form of cardio, and included, it'll help you to lose weight. And so up next, CrossFit. Everyone likes to poke fit at CrossFit, but can it in fact burn calories, and will it help you to keep your muscle? Well, first things first, CrossFit is of course going to help you to build muscle. You're lifting weights while you're doing so. And what about the calorie burn? There's a lot. You're certainly burning off more calories doing CrossFit than you are walking. But the one thing I don't like is the chance of injury. And so I can't put it up at S tier, can't put it up at A. There's too great a risk of injury. You could try to do this every day, but you might in fact be overtraining. And for that reason, I'm giving it a B, much higher than most of you were thinking. And so up next, circuit training. It could be Orange Theory. You could design your own program where you're doing burpees, jumping rope, rowing, stepper, step mill, biking, walking, jogging, whatever. And you go from one station to the next. This is keeping your heart rate up. It's going to help you to build muscle and burn a lot of calories. Now, it's not quite as sustainable. You can't do this for hours on end. And so I can't get it S tier, but it is going to get an A. Very good at keeping or in fact building muscle while burning off a lot of calories and body fat. If you're already a serious bodybuilder, probably not going to be something you want to do. But for the average person looking to get lean, burn off some body fat while keeping their hard-earned muscle, great exercise, giving it an A. And so next up, mixed martial arts. Sorry, I'm giving it an F. Certainly didn't work for Mike Isertel. And so here's the problem. It's intermittent. It's essentially HIIT cardio. You go hard for a minute and then you relax. Hard for a minute and you relax. And so in comparison to steady state cardio, where you're doing something consistently the entire time, like incline walking, bike riding, and so on, you're burning a lot of calories, but then you're resting. And so one thing that does is it makes it hard to recover from. Also, it can cause injuries. And so how much muscle are you going to keep if you're always getting injured? And as a coach, I can tell you that I've had more people get injured through mixed martial arts than every other sport combined. I've coached people for years. I've had to alter their programs, their training styles, and so on, all because of mixed martial arts. And so in comparison to other forms of cardio, this one ain't it. If you're trying to keep on all your hard-earned muscle, you don't want to risk getting injured while doing HIIT forms of cardio. Up next, the stepper. This one, giving it a solid A. You're going to use the legs, hamstrings, your glutes. You can listen to Coach Greg while you're doing the activity, read a book, study Espanol, do whatever. And so stepper, a great choice. And next up, the elliptical. Elliptical, you're using both the lower body and the upper body, going back and forth, legs and arms. This one, it's getting an S. S-tier exercise. You can do this for an hour using all the muscles in the body, and so how could it not get an S? And so next up, it's shopping, mostly for the ladies. If you're shopping on Revolve, Aritzia, Zara, it's my old dog, Zora the Explorer. Amazon, eBay. If you're shopping from the comfort at your home, it's getting an F. But if you're shopping at the mall, window shopping and so on, you're doing a lot of walking. You thought I was going to give it an F. You're walking, and what are you doing with your arms? You're carrying all those heavy Louis Vuitton purses, Gucci bags, and so on. And you're dressing and undressing, reaching back, and so on. And so you're getting a little bit of muscle development. And so clearly it's going to help you to retain some of your muscle, carrying all those expensive items you've been buying. Not to mention your husband's wallet that you're spending all their money because you don't make money yourself. You're a woman. Well, not her maybe, but most women. And so shopping, I'm giving it a surprising C. Just not online shopping, that's getting an F. And so next time when your husband asks you what you're doing, tell him you're going to go work out at the mall. Exactly. See, Coach Greg's thinking harder than last time. C-tier cardio. Shopping. Up next, skiing and or cross-country skiing. I've combined these into one. Overall, I'm giving it a B. Now, cross-country skiing, it's perhaps the most demanding sport in the world, but how many people are out there cross-country skiing for an hour? You're using your arms and your legs, you're going harder than last time, but how many people can do that for an hour? And so even in Canada, where we have igloos, there's a time period when it's not snowing. The verana, in the summer. Verano, I'm told. Sorry, Spain. I know they don't speak Spanish in Bangladesh, that guy in Bangladesh. We're not fans of him. You are not him. Bro is not him. Back to the cross-country skiing. And so cross-country skiing, it's hard to do. Now, if you're super fit and you can do it for an hour on end, well, by all means, it's an S for you. Just like it's an S to have swimming for Michael Phelps, but for the most of us, we can't cross-country ski all day, and so it's getting a B. And as far as skiing goes, you're not always skiing. Half the time you're sitting in that bloody flipping lineup waiting to get your turn to sit on the way up a mountain. And so unless you're Dave Barrow hiking up the frigging mountain, skiing around the frigging universe, you're not having A-level cardio. And so Super Dave Otto has more car dealerships than last time. This guy's an animal. He's got great cardio from doing skiing, and he's lost a tremendous amount of weight, being more active than last time. He does CrossFit, of which everyone makes fun of, and he does skiing. And so there are ways to lose weight with unconventional methods. And of course, he's using harder than last time supplements. This guy uses more HEL supplements than anyone I've ever met. And so when you're sitting down on that chairlift, you're not burning a lot of calories, and then you're going downhill. Essentially, it's like HIIT cardio. My freaking legs are burning. I can barely make it down the hill. And so for me, downhill skiing and so on, I'm gonna give it a D. You're not burning as many calories as you think, and most people are doing the après-ski. Après-ski, c'est français. On boit beaucoup d'alcool, on mange trop de foie gras, on s'assoit dans le hot tub, c'est chaud, caliente, mucho, et on fait des choses que peut-être on ne devrait pas faire dans le soir avec les femmes que on est rencontrées à oui. Mais pas moi, non, des barreaux, tous les autres personnes. Todos le mundo, mais pas nous autres. Next up, I'm lumping it all in one group. hit cardio. All of them hit cardio. Giving it a D. You can't do hit cardio all day long. Oh, I went and did hard cardio for an hour, 5 days a week. No, you didn't. You're lying. It's not hit cardio. If you're going that hard, it's going to be very difficult to recover from, and you're not doing it for an hour. And for that reason, you're not burning all that many calories. If you go hard for a minute and rest and sit there, you're not burning a lot of calories. It's not sustainable. You can't do it every day. And for that reason, I'm giving it a D. And so stop thinking hit cardio is the answer. No, it's not. It's steady state cardio. Zone 2 steady state you can do for hours, and unless it's weight bearing, you're not going to tear down all that muscle. You do biceps and hamstrings, guys. Biceps, hamstrings. Biceps, delts, side, right, left. Go now. 5 more, 4 more on 8. And so, Coach Greg, did you know I was a certified aerobics instructor?
Not certified.
Certified. It's almost as good as a patent. And so what else was Coach Greg? Coach Greg was a cheerleader in university. Power cheerleader. Coach Greg had the cheat code. Oh, Coach Greg doesn't know how to get all the ladies. I'm an aerobics instructor and I'm on the cheerleading team. Where do all the girls go? I'm asking you, where do the girls go? How many male cheerleaders and male aerobics instructors, or perhaps even yogis, do you know?
The fans, they don't know about Coach Greg. Always 3 steps ahead. Soon to be performing an ASMR channel.
And so while everyone was making fun of me, calling me gay, making fun of me. When I used to do my videos, oh, Coach Greg is gay. There's even a gay or not video on Coach Greg. He used to wear a pink strap. I was always for the circles of the world, represented inclusivity. But no, Coach Greg is an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. I have over 2 million followers. I'm a 48-year-old retired has-been bodybuilder, manlet. But I don't know what I'm using. Keep yapping, Coach Greg. And so the rating for aerobics, Zumba, and so on is getting a C. You're burning calories, it's decent, it's not all that hard, but you're not as active as you might think. And remember, I'm an aerobics instructor. I know how much movement you're actually doing. And so it's okay, it's all right. And so depending on your instructor, if it's Coach Greg, I'm giving it a B. You're burning more calories than walking, but it's not always steady state. Part of the class, you have to lay on the floor and lift your legs up and do sit-ups and so on. And so it's not going to burn as many calories as doing, for example, steady state, the elliptical, the stepper, incline treadmill, and so on. And so I am giving it a B. Solid rating. Get to the aerobics classes harder than last time. And last but not least, body pump. And in this exercise class, you're literally doing aerobics while lifting weights. You're going through essentially what's known as a circuit. You're doing curls and so on, but you're not doing a lot of cardio. And so you are in fact building or perhaps maintaining a lot of muscle, but you're not burning as many calories. Giving body pump a C, it's certainly going to burn as many calories as walking, going to keep all that muscle, perhaps build on it, and so it's getting a C. Now, if you want to maintain better levels of cardio, have more energy, endurance, and build more muscle, the top 2 supplements that you can take are GO2 Max and Turk Builder. Remember, if you have any doubts onto the authenticity or whether or not it's effective, there's a money-back guarantee on both of these items. And with Turk Builder, you're getting turkesterone from Uzbekistan. Not like many of the other companies who don't even have actual turkesterone. If you doubt me, go to my website, look at the third-party testing, it's been posted. And even if you don't like it, money back guarantee. What do you have to lose? Code Greg, 15% off. And so, did you learn something? And so, my advice, start with the S tier and sprinkle in some of the rest. Just because having sexy time and shopping, going to yoga isn't S tier doesn't mean you can't have some fun and go and shake your bum with some Bailar dancing harder than last time.
Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, and don't forget to buy Cookbook 3.1. You know you want my books. We have the Circle Diet book. We have the training books, coaching plans by me and my team, a free diet and training program. Head over to the website. Use code Greg, 15% off. And until next time, I am out.